Alright guys, feeling right back, more Mouse Morales. We're continuing on. Oh my god, this is so loud. Oh my god, why was that so loud? Okay, yeah, we're continuing on. Yeah, we just finished the first mission, and we're continuing on. It's really late right now. It's like 2:30 in the morning. It's been about 30 minutes or so since I last recorded. Decided though that, I'll do one episode here because my computer actually needs to update, so it's like, I was like, I might as well stay out for that. And also, I just in general want to make some progress here.
Never seen a guy change clothes in Central Park?
Okay. How's it looking?
Whoa. Miles Morales, congratulations and welcome to your very first super suit.
Okay.
Head uptown for part 2 of this amazing gift.
So, this is essentially just the same thing, just it's presented differently. Oh, there's the Into Spider-Verse suit. You know, I think we're gonna wear that. Why not? Well, we got some mods here. What is that? Decreases damage by range attacks. Uses mod. Okay. Wait. What? We're gonna use this one. Well, what the fuck is that? Like, is this gonna involve Spider-Verse related things? Oh, we can include both. Okay. Okay, so the token system returns. I just realized that at the bottom.
This is only half of the present.
Well, what's the other half?
Okay, this looks ridiculous in the cutscene now. Oh, that was parting it? That was it for that? What the fuck happened to the frame rate there? That looked fucked. I guess in general the frame rate's pretty bad here. Or is it the frame rate, or is it purposely looking like this? No, I think it's purposely supposed to look like this. I can't tell. I can't tell if it's like running terribly on PS4 or if it's just like it's supposed to look like this because it's, you know, that's actually oh my god, why the fuck are there so many menus? I really hate that this is the thing that I really hate that games have become like this now, where they're just using a let's go back to the normal outfit and see.
Good things about this one.
Hello, I'm Danica Hart, and this is.
No, it's doing the same thing.
I spotlight the people making a real difference.
I don't know. Like, is the game just running terribly, or running like slower? I don't know. Can't tell.
Today's topic?
Just look like it feels very. I don't know. It just looks kind of weird.
Autoplay? No, obviously we're covering the Spider-Man's incredible takedown of Rhino.
Subscribe. Danicast, new favorite podcast.
Sure. Yeah, obviously the plan is to eventually go and do all the side activities. However, I just don't. However, like obviously the world isn't really opened up yet, so we're just gonna kind of wait on that. Actually, something else I want to see. Let's look at the gadgets. So how does this work? It's pretty similar, it looks like. Then we got the skills tree. Why is everything locked? Oh, it's locked behind levels? Well, that's really fucking annoying, isn't it? Whatever. Look, I can't tell if that's purposeful or not. Look, when we're walking here, like, it feels like we're missing frames.
Looks like Pete set up
Or something. It feels like the animation itself is, like, kind of, like, skipping some stuff. I don't know. Looks kind of weird to me, but. Oh, that was quick. Holy shit. Oh, wait, that was just the. Okay. Never mind. Peter might be still doing some shit.
Get ready for your first holographic training challenge. These challenges are
So we're doing this
spread throughout
again?
the city. Each one focuses on a new move or technique. This one focuses on acrobatic improvisation. Get into position to start.
Hollow
But yeah,
training?
after having, like,
I'm so down.
obviously just replayed Last of Us,
Air combat.
and then also writing the
Landing on
review
your turn
of
is a
Last of Us
great
Part
way to
2,
gain the advantage.
and all that stuff, at this point, I feel pretty confident that Last of Us Part 2 is going to be my game of the year. Despite there was definitely a chance that it would have been Final Fantasy VII Remake, like earlier, like not even like 2 weeks ago. I feel like at this point, it's like, I feel like it has the Last of Us. Like, again, like,
With the right parts,
I don't think any other game that I've ever reviewed or whatever has actually made me cry when writing the script to it. Like, again, like, just thinking back at, like, how masterfully that the Joel death scene is executed within the game, especially, like, how the, it's really the Joel death scene and the final scene within the game, or the final Joel scene within the game.
Alright, yeah.
It's like the way both of those are executed, and the way they connect to each other is really just so masterfully done, and it really, I don't know, it really does something for me. I really don't know. I don't really know what it is, but whenever I actually like really think about that section, it really makes me emotional. A lot of that has to do with like how connected I am to Joel and Ellie as characters, and I feel like that's one of the greatest boons of The Last of Us, in the sense that like it's just how it's just how good it was at connecting me to the characters within the narrative there. Again, like, if this had been, like, if this sort of connection was made to characters like like an Eivor from AC Valhalla, like, I wouldn't feel anything, like, I wouldn't give a shit. But because it is Joel and Ellie, it obviously means something a bit more. Again, like, I mean, like, I don't know, like, I'm trying to think, like, because, like, I think if I were to do, and this might be something I do in the future, is like a ranking of my favorite video game characters. It's like obviously Joel and Ellie would be, I think both would be in the top 10, with Joel possibly being number 1. And to be honest, Abby might be in my top 10 as well. I think that's even in consideration. I'm trying to think, like, what would be the list? Because, like I think from Assassin's Creed, you gotta have Ezio, Bayek, and Edward. I think those are 3 there that make the list for me. You probably have Kratos in there. Possibly Aloy. Possibly. I don't think that's a guarantee, but oh, you have Nathan Drake. Almost forgot about Nathan Drake. I didn't mean to do that. That's what I meant to do. But, oh, and you have Geralt.
That's not a quip. That's a straight up burn.
Practicing, soon you'll be equipping like a pro.
I think that's probably around the. I mean, Lara Croft. Oh, yeah, Lara Croft from the rebooted series is possibly up there. But I'm probably not. I mean, like, I would say Aloy's better, and Aloy's like barely making the list if she does. So it's like probably not. Oh shit, that's fucking him.
System error.
That's it for the tech thieves. Now to fix a training sim.
Word up.
Critical fault on circuit AF.
I don't know, I think if I were to do a character ranking, like, I do think I mean, like, it would have to be a protagonist ranking, right?
Nice.
Like, I feel like to include, like, just random fucking characters would just make it way too difficult. And, like, hard to really assess. So I think it would have to be, like, main character ranking. Like, so essentially protagonist rankings. And, yeah, I think Joel, Ellie, Bayek, Ezio, Edward, I was gonna say Connor, Edward, I think those 5 are easily on the list. Do we have stuff now? We do. Okay. Okay, but it was still everything's locked. I think what we'll do is we'll wait until everything is unlocked in terms of all the side activities, and then we'll go ahead and do everything. What's nice to see though is that this isn't as ridiculous as the first game. There isn't nearly as much shit to do, so that's cool. Yeah.
Hey, dude. I think you should check out Roxxon Plaza on your way home.
So I think those. Again, there's the 3 Assassin's Creed characters.
Yeah.
2, I think Joel and Ellie for sure make it. Abby is probably on the border. I think Geralt makes it. I think Kratos makes it. Nathan Drake makes it. So that's already 8. 8 for sure locks. Again, on the border, I think you have Abby. I think you have Aloy. I think you have. I don't know, who else is there? I think Kiryu could make the cut. I don't know if I'm as like. I think I would probably have to play the rest of the Yakuza series, but I think Kiryu would definitely be up there. Oh, Lee Everett. Oh, how did I forget Lee Everett? Lee Everett makes the cut. He's Clementine would be borderline, but I think at the end of the day she doesn't make it. Yeah, Lara Croft, as I said, probably could be in the border, but probably doesn't make the cut though. I'm trying to look at the collection right now. What else is there?
First one, where are you from, Danica? Well, I was born in Fuzhou, China.
Oh fuck, I forgot about John Marston and Arthur Morgan. Oh no. Shit, this becomes too... Oh no, this actually becomes hard to make, and also it's very male heavy, which sucks too. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's probably it. Sora, does Sora make it? Probably not, right? Noctis, does Noctis make it?
It keeps me informed and gives me a chance to revise my gut reactions.
Does Vincent Brooks make it? Oh shit, there's too many.
What if I could be that friend for them? That's why I'm
Yeah, there's kind of a lot, isn't there?
Thanks for listening.
And even then, like, someone like a Big B could make the cut.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, I mean, there's actually some really great ones out there. Yeah, that would be a tough list to put together. I completely forgot about Red Dead, though. Oh, yeah, which, by the way, I should talk about this, that I before, so, like, a few days ago, I did update my, top 100 games of all time lists for the year. I do this every year. So I did it for this year.
Hi there, I'm Simon.
And
who you're standing next to is a new form.
I was talking about it. I thought I put Last of Us Part 2 at like number 7 or 8. It turns out I put it at number 5. I was kind of looking at it yesterday, and I realized like I put it above Red Dead 2, and I put it above Horizon Zero Dawn, which I don't know. I don't know if that's right. I think above Red Dead 2 probably is. I think Horizon's where it's like very close. I think it's very close between the two. I would say to me like Horizon feels like the better game, or at least the better overall experience. But again, there's just something about The Last of Us Part 2 that does hit with me, even though it does have issues here and there. But I mean, every game does. Yeah, I believe my list was number 1 God of War, which I just don't know. Yeah, it's weird. Like, I feel so weird putting God of War number 1 because it's like, I think God of War is the one of the most perfect games ever made, and I think it's has one of the strongest narratives in the history of gaming. I think it
They were looking for something.
is like, again, it's pretty much a perfect game. Like the way it's made in a way where like I feel like they accomplished everything they set out to do within that game. The problem is that I haven't actually done everything within the game. Like it's a game that like while it's a game I have so much respect for, it's not a game that I've actually gone and finished to its entirety. And because of that, I do feel weird putting it at number 1 in comparison to something like The Witcher 3, which is like a more flawed game. A game that like I think definitely has more issues within it than something like God of War, but is also a game that I've completed to the best of my ability multiple times. Like I've played it twice, 100% completion, and I've done like multiple playthroughs outside of that. Well, with God of War, like yeah, I've played it I think like what 5 times now, probably more. It's like almost all of that has been like just kind of rushed through playthroughs. Like only my latest playthrough included side content. Like every other time I just rushed through the main story, and I think that is something to factor in there. I think, and the same thing goes for like something like Persona 5, which is like, as much as I love Persona 5, it's like, and I think it's another game that like for the most part does everything it tries to do. I feel like the biggest issue there is just how I've only played it twice, and to be honest, I don't really see myself playing it again anytime soon because of how fucking bloated the game is. So I don't know, that's an issue I have as well. I don't love like the total length. Like again, like I think the length for the most part is justified in Persona 5. Maybe there's a few things I would cut out, but I feel like for the most part it is like it is a solid experience. Like it is a well-made, for the most part, decently paced experience. But it's still an experience that like it's just something I'm not gonna experience as much as like some of these other things. And I've never done like everything within Persona 5 that I could have possibly done. So that's a factor there. I'm trying to think, what's the rest of the top 5? I was the last. Oh, it's the 2 Last of Us games. Yeah, top 5 is God of War. I don't remember the order anymore. Again, like my computer's currently loading. I believe Last of Us 1 might be number 2.
Hey, I did that
Wait, it's those games. It's Last of Us 1, 2, God of War, Witcher 3, and Persona 5. I think that is my top 5. It's just a question of the order. Again, like I mean, like, Last of Us Part 2 and Horizon are very close. I think you can debate the two. But that's essentially the order there. Number 7, I have Red Dead 2, which I would like to put higher again, like, but it's kind of the same issue as Persona, where it's like I'm very rarely gonna play it because of its length. But also I feel like it's just there's a lot of bloat in that game as well. I do feel like that game could have easily been half the size. While I do feel like something like the other game. Fuck, what's the other game? While something like yeah, I do feel like something like I don't remember what I was saying anymore. Yeah, well, like something like Persona 5, I feel like its length is justified, while something like Red Dead 2 doesn't need to be nearly as long as it is, especially chapters 2 and 3. So that's kind of my thing with that, and that's why it's at number 7. And then was 8? 8 is Brotherhood, right? Okay, I'm gonna finish this. My thing's finished. Exporting. Or not exporting, updating. We can take a look at the list in a second, because I never did talk about that, which I did plan on doing at some point. Fuck, I can't even type my password because I'm an idiot. Did I get that right? Oh, I did. Cool.
Need to figure out what they found so I know where they're gonna hit next.
I guess some stuff is still updating. Oh no, I wanted to. But yeah, number 8 is Brotherhood, AC Brotherhood. I remember that. Number 9 is Walking Dead, season 1, I believe. Which is a game I've played like a billion fucking times. There we go. And then what is number 10? Is it Uncharted 4? It might be Uncharted 4. Which, I don't know, it's weird. Like, Uncharted 4 is just such a tough game for me to assess there. Like, at the time that we finished it, I was definitely thinking, like, okay, Uncharted 4 is probably my second favorite Uncharted game at this point. I think it's probably Live 2. But I think, like, when writing my script for the video, I was like, you know what, I can't even, like, I can't legitimately say that. I do feel like, despite all the flaws I do have with with Uncharted 4, I do feel like it's still my favorite Uncharted game. And I do feel like it's on that border of the top 10 games of all time for me. Again, I end up putting it on there as of when I made my last list, but it's like,
Cold change out here.
definitely is up there. This is from the trailer, right? Or not the trailer, the gameplay? Oh yeah, so are we about to go to that campaign thing? Like his mom's campaign thing? Okay, that definitely did not look janky. Yeah, there's definitely some jankiness in this game so far. Obviously not to the extent of something like a Cyberpunk or like AC Valhalla, but I do think this is still an example of like PS games, like games that are like made in a way that like essentially games that are optimized for PS5 at release. They seem to not really be running super great on PS5 or PS4. Again, this is running definitely a lot better than those other two games, but you can definitely see there are points where it's like, yeah, the frame rate's dropping a bit or whatever.
Oh, speed Nonagon. Dude needs to finish so I can play it. Still gotta box up the last of Abuela's stuff and ship it to her in Puerto Rico.
Who?
Spider suit it is.
Yeah, I'm trying to open up the spreadsheet I have that has the ranking, so we can talk about it a bit. I'm to be honest, like the back like half of the list is kind of just arbitrary. Like I'm like the way that I end up making the list is essentially I make it in tens. So so essentially I do have this spreadsheet of like every game rated out of 10. So first up, every game that I rate below an 8 out of 10 I automatically delete. Then after that, I take what's left, which is around I think like around like 150 to 200 games, and then obviously make a top 100 out of that. When I make the top 100, I go through this overly complicated system of essentially breaking them. So first up, I automatically get like 50 or so that make it to next. Oh, it's convoluted, but essentially, I test my opinions on things over and over again. With obviously, there's like certain things that are locks to move forward at that point. So so essentially, I usually like break in half. And then the bottom half I test multiple times until and I narrow it down by tens until I eventually have like usually like it's so complicated, it's overly complicated to really explain right now, especially when I'm fucking tired, so it doesn't really matter that much, but I do end up like, that's why it takes so long for me to do it, is because I'm essentially like re-ranking things over and over and over again to make sure I feel good about it. But yeah, like this is my top 100 list. So we got okay, this is why I have list. It's God of War, then Witcher 3, then Last of Us, then Persona 5, then Last of Us Part 2, then Horizon, Red Dead 2, Brotherhood, Walking Dead, Season 1, then Uncharted 4. Which I feel good. I feel good about that list. I think there's one major change that could happen soon with the replay, and we'll talk about that in a second, but I feel like it feels good. Like, I feel like the top 9 are pretty definitive for me. The top 7 for sure are definitive. Like, 100% those are my top 10. I feel like Brotherhood is pretty solidly in there as well. Walking Dead's probably within the top 10. Number 9 might seem a little bit high, but it's like, I feel like it is definitely number 10. Uncharted 4 is the questionable one, but I feel as of right now, that is what my opinion is.
No records.
Then we get number,
Hey, Mom,
okay, so now
where's
moving on
Dad's
from number
title?
11, we have AC4 Black Flag, which I did actually move above Origins. I do think as time has gone on, and the fact that I didn't love my latest speedrun of Origins, I do feel like my opinion of Origins like went down slightly, and because I do think Black Flag has overtaken it now, especially because I do feel like obviously the narrative within Black Flag is much stronger. So Black Flag's at 11. Number 12 is Final Fantasy VII Remake, which is funny because like I complain a lot about Final Fantasy VII Remake in terms of its pacing, but I still really enjoy it, and I really do love it. And again, like the fact that Last of Us Part 2 is at number 5, and like I debated at one point that Final Fantasy VII Remake was better. I feel like it's got to be relatively high, so I feel like 12 is pretty good. 13's Mass Effect 2, and that used to be in my top 10. I believe last year, we can look at this, last year my top 10, it was in my top, it was number 8 on my list last year. Actually, Origins was in the top 10 over Brotherhood. Yeah, this is my top 10 last year. It was Witcher 3, then Last of Us, then God of War, then Red Dead 2, Horizon Zero Dawn, Persona 5, Super Mario 64 was still in there. I decided to just get, to be honest, at this point, like, for my current list, I decided to mostly get rid of nostalgia. Now I bumped Super Mario 64 down to number 64, or to number 30, because I decided to just, like, keep nostalgia out of it at this point. Especially for games that like I haven't played in a while. With Super Mario 64 being one of those, obviously.
Okay,
Yeah,
right?
then Mass Effect 2 is number 8, then Origins, then Walking Dead Season 1. Then, see, 2 years ago, or, yeah, 2019, beginning of 2019, we have Witcher 3, Mass Effect 2, Persona 5, Horizon. Uncharted 4 was number 5. That seems really fucking high. Then Last of Us is number 6, Brotherhood's number 7, Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green is number 8. Actually, Super Mario 64 wasn't even in the top 10 that year. Interesting. God of War was number 9. Number 10 was Walking Dead Season 1 again. Interesting. Red Dead 2 is outside the top 10. So, now let's go to 2018. Okay, so here we had Super Mario 64 was number 1. So that's that. Then we had Witcher 3, then Mass Effect 2, Pokemon Fire Red, Leaf Green. And that's when I was still factoring nostalgia a lot in. Then Last of Us, then Smash Bros. Melee, then Persona 5, AC Origins, Uncharted 4, and Walking Dead. God of War was right outside the top 10 at that point.
Well, what's that?
Mind you, this is the thing also about these lists, is that these lists were made at the beginning of these years, but by the end of these years, I end up updating them with the new games I played over the course of that year. However, I do so without changing the placements of anything else. Whatever. There we go. Yeah, my Excel was like glitching the fuck out. So that's why, like, on my 2020 list, like, I do have Final Fantasy VII Remake actually at number 12 as well. Because, like, I add the games on there without modifying the rest of the list. And then, obviously, I just make the list anew with the 2021 list, or the next list out there. Yeah, so that's the 2018 list. 2017 is interesting because number 1 is actually The Last of Us on that list. Then Super Mario 64, Melee, AC4 Black Flag is number 4, which is high. We got Pokemon Fire Red, Mass Effect 2, AC Origins also in the top 10. Uncharted 4, Life is Strange is number 9, and Catherine is number 10. Walking Dead is outside the top 10 there. Horizon's only number 21, which is interesting. Yeah, this is before I played The Witcher. It's kind of funny though, like looking back at like what's that number, like the lower spots on the list. Fucking Alter Echo is number 97. And like Shadow of the Colossus is number 92 despite me not even finishing the game at that point. So again, like it is a bit of a wonky list. And yeah, looking at like 2016 is just really like what the fuck. We got Super Mario 64, Last of Us, Melee, AC4 Black Flag, Pokemon Red, we have Yoshi's Island at number 6. We have Uncharted 2. Soul Calibur 2 at number 8 is ridiculous. That's way too high. Catherine and Mass Effect 2. Walking Dead's number 11. Jack and Daxter's number 13 on this list. That's ridiculous. It's way too high. Power Stone's number 100. Yakuza is number 99. Despite the fact I only played like a few hours of it. So again, it like back then it's kind of arbitrary. I feel like 2020. Yeah, 2020. I feel like the list is filled with games that I've actually fully played. Looks like 2019 is that as well. I'm trying to look back. So was 2018 the last time that? 2018's solid. I mean, there's not like many games there at the bottom that's like, what the fuck? Why are they on the list? So yeah, 2017 is really the last time, but like 2021. I mean, if we look at the like, okay, so I mean, we can continue running through. Let's see. Yeah, we got Mass Effect 2, AC Origins at 14. We got Tomb Raider at 15. By the way, I have set rules for franchises too. And this essentially the way that I do this is I try to do one per generation, though there are exceptions with things like Assassin's Creed and whatever. Like essentially with Assassin's Creed, I do one per like one per like era. So essentially I have like one for the original engine, one for like the Kenway saga, one for whatever. Like it's like that sort of thing. So like Unity is on this list, but like Revelations and 2 aren't on this list because Brotherhood's on this list. And like Revelations and 2 would obviously be above Unity, but whatever. We're probably gonna end here in a second.
What's the pick, DJ?
The greatest record ever.
Yeah, we got at number 16 we have Life is Strange. Number 17 is Spider-Man, which I think that bumped up a bit actually.
You didn't like jazz when I was little.
Your dad taught me to love
But yeah, we got Uncharted 2 at 18, Catherine at 19, Tales from Borderlands at 20,
Could you get that?
Detroit Become Human at 21. That seems a little bit high. Actually, I don't know. That's probably about right, actually. 22 is God of War 3. That feels high. I feel like that's high. For God of War 3. 23 is Kingdom Hearts 3.
How are you?
24 is Final Fantasy 15. Shouldn't Final Fantasy 15 be above Kingdom Hearts 3?
Yeah, it really has.
Is that our guest of honor?
That's close. I think they're very close. So.
Dinner's almost ready.
25 Heavy Rain. 26 Hitman 2. I think that's high. That's a bit high for Hitman 2.
We missed you. Well, this
And which essentially by Hitman 2, I essentially mean the Hitman series. Those first two games, like 2 reboots. It's probably about right. Like I mean, like it's probably that's not what I meant to say. It's probably not that high, but whatever. Enslaved at number 27. This one seems high too. Death Stranding at 28. I feel like that's too high, but whatever. After that, we kind of have a stretch of like games that I played when I was younger and whatever. So we got Pokemon Fire Red, Super Mario 64, Tony Hawk's Underground. Smash Bros. Brawl I actually have above Melee at this point, and largely because of the single player. I feel like if I'm going to replay a Smash Bros. Game at this point, or pick up and play a Smash Bros. Game, it would probably be Brawl to play it single player. Then we got Mario Kart Super Circuit, which I really loved that game when I was younger. 34 is A Plague Tale. That seems a little bit high. 35 is Arkham Knight. That seems very high as well. 36 is Resident Evil 2 Remake. Which again, like, it's tough because, like, Resident Evil 2, I feel like is a game that I respect so much more than I actually like playing. Like, I do not like playing Resident Evil 2, but I respect the game a lot. Yeah, then we got Yoshi's Island, and Watch Dogs, which seems a little high, but to be honest, that's probably right, though. Then we got LA Noire, which that's probably a bit high, if I'm being honest.
Can't go up there.
And 40 is Shenmue 2, which is probably about right. 41 Wolf Among Us. I think that's too low. I feel like Wolf Among Us should be above L.A. Noire for sure. Wait. 42 Ghost of Tsushima. I don't know. To be honest, I don't even know what I feel about Ghost of Tsushima anymore. I kind of feel like I probably should replay it before I do my 2020 year in gaming video.
Don't look out the window.
Just because, like, I just don't know. Like, it's tough because it's like I played it the first time and I really enjoyed it despite having some issues. But then I feel like my second playthrough really exemplified all of those issues. So I kind of would like to play it a third time to really like get a good sense of how I really feel about it. Especially being as far removed from it as I am now. So, then we got Judgment, then Yakuza Kiwami. Those are back to back. I really loved Yakuza Kiwami. I know people don't like Yakuza Kiwami. I personally do. I debated on whether to include both of them on the list or not, but like, whatever. We're good. Then we got Firewatch, which is probably about right. We got Hellblade. At 46, which seems a little high, but it's probably about right, though.
Didn't we wait for Miles?
And we got Metro Last Lights, we got Batman Enemy Within, which is probably a little bit high, but whatever. We have GTA 5 at 49, which seems a bit high. We have Nier Automata, which is ripe to go up after a replay. We got Warrior Land 4, we got Melee, Arkham City, Unity, Prince of Persia, Gravity Rush 2, which I think that dropped a few spots. Largely because I haven't played it in a while. And we got Resident Evil 7, Devil May Cry 5, SSX Tricky, NBA Street Volume 2. And now we're at 61. Here we got Kingdom Hearts 2, Shadow of the Colossus Remake. We got South Park Stick of Truth. We got Cyberpunk at 64. It's probably about right. 65 I have Bioshock, which has dropped largely because I just haven't played it in a while. It's ripe to go up if I replay it. And then Beyond Two Souls, Budokai Tenkaichi 3, Far Cry 3 seems a bit high, 68, but whatever. We got Sonic Heroes, we got Tony's American Wasteland, which by the way, one of the requirements for this list, I end up making it that is a game that I have finished at some point in the past. If not finished, then like if it's unless it's a game that's like obviously that isn't really focused on the single player experience, and in that way, like if it's something like a Tony Hawk game, or I mean like that's not even a good example. Sonic's Underground, which is one of the ones that's on the list, is one that has a actual story, but like something like a Roller Coaster Tycoon, I think is an example. Then I just want it to be a game that I've played as for a significant amount of time. And then where are we at? We're at 70. We have Tony's American Wasteland. 71. The Outer World seems a bit high. I think that is way too high. But whatever. 72. Got Until Dawn. Then Inside. Far Cry 5, which seems a little high, but that's probably about right though, if I'm really being honest with myself. We got Budokai 3. Super Mario Sunshine. Roller Coaster Tycoon. Everybody's Gone to the Rapture at 78, which might be a little bit high, but whatever. We got Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. We got Frogger's Adventures, Temple of the Frog, which that's mostly nostalgia. We got Jedi Fallen Order. Which, I don't know. Well, we need to replay that. I'm thinking about. I want to do a video on it, but there's no time to do it for the anniversary. So, but I would like to do a retrospective of it at some point.
Not tonight. It's Christmas. Hey,
Sure.
how are you handling the move from Brooklyn?
I mean, it's fine.
Yeah, that massive move.
You hate it.
Nah.
Yeah, we're at 80, or we're at 82. So we have Far Cry 4, God of War 2, Pokemon Gold and Silver, Burnout 3, DMC, Ratchet and Clank, 2016 remake. We have Beyblade V-Force Ultimate Blader Jam, which is a game I loved as a kid. We have WarioWare Inc. We have 20X Project 8, Trials Fusion, Shadow Mordor, Sleeping Dogs, Pro Skater 4, Limbo, Red Dead 1, Spider-Man 2, the original Spider-Man 2, or the movie, the one based off the movie. We got Wipeout Pure, Devil May Cry, the original, and then we got Soul Calibur 2 holding on at number 100. Which again, at one point it was at number like 8 or something, right? So it's kind of funny. But yeah, I stick by most of this list. Again, I stick by that this is the top 100. Again, the order at some points is a bit wonky, but I do stick by that this is the top 100. Something we should look, I kind of want to look at here is like
So I stayed up last
just see
night
what
and designed an app
games
for your new
are
suit.
on this
Thing's got a
list.
crazy custom OS,
Yeah, let's actually do
nothing
this.
I've ever seen before. But I ran it through a disassembler so I could reverse engineer the plugin architecture.
I just want to see what games are on this list that from like I just want to compare the two lists from this year and last year,
Miles, I'm up.
and see what changes have been made and that sort of
It's
thing.
almost done compiling.
All right,
Thank
so
Ready to try out my app?
Yeah, man. Let's do this.
let's see.
I'm connected to your analytics. Let's test drive this baby.
All right.
So we got Plague Tale, which has jumped up about 10 spots. A Way Out was on my list last time. It's not on it this time. That might be added back on though when I replay it. But whatever. Just let's not even bother looking at the comparison placements. I feel like this is gonna take forever. But I just want to see
Welcome to friendly neighborhood.
what's on here that wasn't on here last time. So, Crash Bandicoot: The Huge Adventure. That's not on my current list. I think again that was a game I had a lot of nostalgia for. Devil May Cry wasn't on my last list, but it's on this list. I think that's mostly just because like it's a game I finished. I guess it's actually been like a year, over a year since I finished that now, but
Wait,
whatever.
What? That's my uncle.
Does he know you're Spider-Man?
No.
Let's see. God of War 2 was a game that wasn't on my last list for some reason. I think I think it genuinely should be. Yeah, let's end here, gameplay wise though. Just want to see something. Okay. Yeah, we'll end here in a second. I just want to kind of see what's on one list and what isn't. To be honest, a lot of the list is the same. Paper Mario dropped from the list, again, largely because of nostalgia. Pokemon Diamond and Pearl was added to the list. Yeah, I mean, really, most of the list is the same. Like, there isn't much that changed, which I think really tells you, again, it is pretty much my genuine opinions. Like, that is my genuine list. Super Mario Bros. The original, well, the NES game, was on my list last time. It's not on my list this time. First Gear 4 is on my list this time. It wasn't last time. Like, it's like, this is literally like a 4-game difference, yeah. Like, for the most part, it is the exact same fucking list. So, that's cool at least. Which, again, I think it really shows, like, how solidified I am on these opinions. Mind you, I think if you go back 2 years, yeah, there's a good amount of differences here. There's, like, Mario vs. Donkey Kong, Tekken Tag Tournament. Vanquish is a game that probably makes the list again if I replay it. ATV Alpha Fury. I mean, like, there's a good chunk. Like, this entire bottom 10 is off the list now, I believe, right? Ratchet and Clank 2016 was relatively low here, yet is on the list now. AC Unity is there. Yeah, there's definitely a game, like, Metroid Fusion's one that's, like, I don't think I ever finished Metroid Fusion. Like, I played it when I was a kid. I enjoyed playing it, but it's like I would never finish it. That's the same thing that Conker's Bad Fur Day. Because, like, technically that should be on the list and, like, be mid-tier on the list, like, probably around 50 or so. The problem is I never finished it. I never finished Conker's Bad Fur Day, and that's why it's not on the list here. Because, like, I believe here in 2019, this is before I set that rule in place. And because, like, to be honest, like, if I didn't do that, I don't feel like there would be enough to really fill out the list. Well, now, like, obviously you have more than enough, well, more than enough to fill out the list. But yeah, like, Conker's Bad Fur Day is a big example of a game that, like, I never actually fully finished, and that's why it's not on the list. Now, Resident Evil 4 is one that, I always struggle with, like, whether or not to even include it on the list, because, like, I obviously played it when around the time it came out, and I really enjoyed it, and at the time, I would have called it one of my all-time favorite games. The problem is I haven't played it in forever, and to be honest, I don't even remember that much of it anymore, outside of, like, the beginning, like, the first few hours. New Super Mario Bros. is one that, like, I really enjoyed playing that. I just never finished it, but it's on my list for 2019. Yeah, Metroid Fusion. Yeah, so, I mean, like, a lot of games like that. But now I have this rule where it's like I'm not gonna put a game on here unless I finished it, and if not finished it, then it has to be a game that like doesn't have a concrete single player focus experience. Like it has to be like something like Roller Coaster Tycoon or I mean, even like Burnout 3, to be honest. Burnout 3 is probably a game that like I never actually technically finished in terms of like its overall like its actual objectives, but it's like it doesn't really matter with Burnout. But yeah, every other game here I have finished. Because if I didn't, then they wouldn't be on the fucking list. But yeah, also have my playtime counter here. My number one most played game of all on PS4. This is I only started keeping track after I started playing PS4. So number one is Origins, AC Origins by about 5 hours ahead of Odyssey. Origins at 303 hours, Odyssey at 298. Witcher 3 is at 277. Persona is at 193. Then Red Dead 2 is at 132. AC Valhalla is also at 132. Horizon's at 117. Really insane that I've played more of Valhalla in 2 playthroughs than I have of Horizon, like fucking 10. But whatever. It hasn't been 10, it's been like 7, I think. But either way, you get the point. It's funny that Life is Strange is actually number 8 on this list, which is like really insane. Black Flag at number 9, Uncharted 4 at number 10. Then Last of Us Part 2 is actually number 11. This is after the most recent playthroughs, by the way. Because before, Last of Us 1 was actually ahead of Last of Us 2 until that most recent playthrough. Now Last of Us 1 is below it. Look at AC2, Detroit, AC Syndicate, God of War, Brotherhood, Spider-Man, Ghost of Tsushima, AC3, AC Unity, AC Revelations, Tales from Borderlands, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Watch Dogs. Again, this is like just based off of playtime on the PS4. Like, there's certain games here that's like definitely would be higher if they were in the grand scheme of things, and like there's other games that like I haven't played on PS4 at all that aren't even on this list. So things like Super Smash Bros. Melee, Super Mario 64, stuff like that, that would also be relatively high on the list. But they're not on here. Tony Hawk's Underground would be very high. Tony Hawk's American Wasteland would be very high. Yeah, this is only like from the point where I got my PS4. Because I obviously didn't count before that. I think my most played game of all time is still Melee, though. I remember at one point I checked and it was at like 600 something hours for Melee, which I think eventually becomes around 700. The problem is I don't have any real proof of that anymore. Plus, also, it's like 700 hours with a game isn't even that much. Compared to a lot of other people, especially like some people that like are really big into like MMOs and stuff. But I believe that is my most played game of all time by probably a significant margin. I mean, the fact that I put over 300 hours into fucking Origins is insane if you think about it. But whatever, we're done. Again, I'm just rambling on. It's fucking 3 o'clock in the morning at this point. I want to go to sleep so I can get up at a reasonable time tomorrow, so I can get the last 2 videos that I need to get recorded done. So that I can get that done in a reasonable time, and so that I can get the start to the challenge, to editing the challenge video at a reasonable time, so that I can get that done tomorrow night as well. Again, we'll probably continue on with Miles Morales tomorrow night. To be honest, so far, I'm not feeling it. Not really feeling it. I'm not disliking it. Like, it's fine. But gameplay-wise, like, I'm not really liking the additions that they've made. And, like, narratively, it just feels like it's okay. But whatever, we're done here. Next episode, continue on for now. Thank you for watching.